Hi YouTube, how you doing? I'm doing great. Had a pretty good day. Did a little more work out in the barn and got some straw put down on the floor for Dusty and gonna do a little more work out there tomorrow. So yeah, I couldn't find the other Coldplay song I was thinking about. He says something about keeping my head down. To see what it feels like now. I have no doubt someday we'll work it out. And then I have no doubt someday the smoke will come out. So, yeah, their esoteric knowledge is like way deep. So that's why I like them so much. And the variety of their music, they got like everything, even some country stuff, you know. They have a really beautiful one called Us Against the World, which is really cool. That's why I named my Luke Us is how it's spelt instead of cuss or, you know. I never really cared for Luke Cuss or Luke Cass. It's like that don't make sense. Or Luke as as Luke maybe, but yeah. I like the way I did it. I found one other Lucas with the same middle name as my Lucas, and he's born in Montana too, same as my Lucas. And but he was like 60 years old. That was a couple years ago. Jonah in the middle too. I couldn't believe it. It's like, wow, here I was in Montana, and that man was in Montana, and God said, name him this, and I did, and it's like, okay, but yeah, it was a miracle. I wasn't supposed to have children. So when I did get pregnant, I actually prayed to have a son that looked like his dad with my mind and my heart. And that's what I got. Day before Christmas, I had Luke. Boy, was that a nightmare. Um, the very same day, back in them days, my best friend um, was Kathleen. We called her Chatty, was my ex's sister. And I had, we call them twin cousins, about um, an hour apart, 2 hours apart physically. We gave birth to cousins, so we call them twin cousins, and we were only about an hour separation in travel time. So the grandparents went to one hospital room and then came up to mine. So yeah, that was something else. So yeah, exciting to bring a baby home for Christmas, Christmas Day. I had all these little knitted outfits and stuff. I didn't do that. I did knit for a couple of my granddaughters, though, made them booties and little sweaters and bibs and little mittens and all the little little thingy majiggies. I got them on my Facebook for the one, Joya, and I didn't get pictures of Brenya's uh, baby stuff that I made, but yeah, they're pretty. Turned out real beautiful. Um, Brenya's was sort of a light pink and white and sort of a silvery type baby yarn, and Joya's was sort of a pinkish peach colored. And she's a redhead, brown eyed like her dad, so that would look really beautiful. Or did. I have pictures of her too with it on, and yeah, totally cute. But yeah, but anyway, so I went to dress my baby. Oh, they forgot to measure him. They didn't have the doctor in there. He like ripped out of me. It really, I had stitches in it, and I even went to work with stitches like that. It was hell for a long time. Um, but anyway, long story for that too. Um, yeah, I thought he was dead in there for 3 days. I got punched in the stomach, and the baby didn't move, and I didn't have a car or a phone. But anyway, everything worked out okay, somewhat. And but what was I gonna say? Something about Luke, maybe? I don't know. Well, anyway, the miracle of the whole thing is I wasn't even supposed to have kids, so I ended up with two. So that was, you know, pretty cool. A lot of miracles happened to me. Lots and lots. The the most striking one, I was in the middle of the air and I was thinking, oh God, I was like 4,000 feet above the ground on a cliff. And we were up in between Idaho and Montana and Canada on the Great Divide in a place called Lolo Hot Springs. And we climbed up into the mountains, like 17,000-foot mountain, and we were throwing boulders off the mountain. I picked up one that was about 40 pounds, I'm thinking, and went to toss it to see if I could make it closer to the river. And when I threw it, I went off with it. And my ex was standing right next to me, and I looked at him like, and I'm thinking, God, I knew he was like somewhat evil, but I'm thinking you're gonna miss me when I fall. And he reached out and grabbed me and like pulled me back on the cliff, and these two other loggers that were standing there by us. These are big guys, they're not wusses at all of them, you know. And they go, whoa, they hit the ground, they're just like cracking up, and I mean like, whoa, you know. And the things that I've been saved from, and it was my call to God, split second timing call, you know. Talk about radar love. You know. Wow. I mean, so many times. Oh, here's another for instance. Some of you might have heard this, but it was just so remarkable. I was going like, 80 miles an hour down a freeway. Pretty big motor in my car. It's a 400 and zooming in a Chrysler. And got me a Chrysler. It's as big as a whale and it's about to set sail. Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby. So it's going about 80, and I hit some glare ice, and that car spun around, and I thought, split second again, for God's help. And he's like, don't lose your cool. Just grab the wheel, hold it. And the next thing I knew, I didn't brake or anything. I was going forward again. So I put on the gas to even it out. And then I was off the ice and I kind of braked down and whew, didn't have a breakdown, but like kind of inside for a while there. It was like forever, you know, car accidents, you know. Like one, we were hanging off the side of a cliff and I could see the trees on the side of me. And everybody in the back seat, they're like, God dang. And I'm thinking, oh God. And the next thing I knew, um, my ex boyfriend grabbed the wheel. He like whipped it back up onto the hill and we took off. And everybody's like, again, cracking up, you know. But I mean, just little things like this that unbelievable things. I mean, I tell people about stuff that happened to me, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. And I tell them God saved me, and, you know, they don't really believe me. And I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever. Like to see you survive a situation like that off the cliff. Totally, that car, all the wheels were off that cliff. It turned in midair, believe what you will. Everybody knew it too. There wasn't a tire on that ground, you know. And it was a big cliff with big trees. All these trees are like, oh, that's what I was gonna say too about the song of the valleys and the clapping of the trees. I live in a valley, and you can literally hear the hills sing. The wind will come down it, and it will literally make a whistling song. And my pine trees, they sort of clap in the wind. You get a certain kind, like a Scotch pine and jack pine. And when I was a kid, I was up in it was called Theodore Wirth Park. Um, I had parks all around me when I was a kid, so I was pretty fortunate on the edge of the city. I wasn't really in the, it wasn't far to the inner city. It just said I was on the other side. And, well, anyway, so I was out in this park all by myself, and there had been a woman a little further up in there by a highway, her and her, well, I guess they were making love, her and this guy, and they didn't have no clothes on, and somebody killed them and left them like that, you know. And there was another girl that got murdered up in there. So, but I knew I could run fast. I got chased by a vet. I don't know who he was or what he was doing, but I got chased in the hills around my house and had to run through the woods and sneak through some sumacs like a deer and run into the back of my house, and they got away, and I could still see him standing over there on the hill looking for which way I went as I was running across our field. It's like, whoa, what a, whoa, freaky. So, anyway, so I was up in this park, and I would bounce on these trees. The branches would be low enough on these pine trees and big enough around, and you could hold on to the branches and bounce on them, you know. So I was bouncing on them, and then I got tired, and I was laying underneath one, and it's like, and I think I was dozing off, and it like reached down and grabbed me. I'm like, ah! I go running. This is no shit, and I go running like there was a hole in this fence, and I'm like scrambling through this hole and running home, and it's like, holy shit, scared the living bejesus out of me. Really, I can still feel it. It's like, okay, whatever. Oh no, I, you know, what can I say? It's so true. It's a true story. Now, maybe I was dreaming and maybe that tree just kind of slightly touched me, or I don't know, but it sure did freak me out. you know? Yeah, it did. I had some good memories in that park, though. My, what I call my good grandfather, Von Duchesne, um, French, not my blood, but he really took care of me better than anybody. He really did. He used to take me with him. He was a plumber, and he'd babysit me and watch me. But when I got older, he took me to ride an elephant. All my cousins were jealous, but I would help him clean his house, and when they were over for festivities and everything, I'd help set things up, help take things down, and the rest of those lottie does, they didn't think they had to do nothing, you know, people with money like that, you know, maybe you don't, but it was all I could do to go over there and socialize with them. That's it, and yeah, I couldn't stand it, really. And especially when the English relatives came over, I just about flipped out. What a bunch of starchy, no offense, but even I think some of my English friends, you know what I'm talking about, the starchy, snobby, you know, even coming of that blood, and I got that in me. It's like, no, I keep that at bay. It's like, no, thank you, you know. But yeah, he was a good guy, and we went cross country skiing together. Well, we hit this one hill, and I'm thinking, God, he's 66 years old. I snowboard, and I'm gonna be 61 in February, but and I ski all kinds of winter sports, but that I would still do and do. But so I went down this hill. Well, I first I go, Grandpa, you can go first, and he goes, go ahead, kid. So I went down. I got to the bottom, and there's a little bit of a jump, and I jumped over to the side, and I'm looking and I'm watching him come down. Talk about a pro, you know. Here I was worried about him. He had been in the cavalry, literally, um, and they had their own skis and snowshoes. And I did when I was growing up. I had all the implements that you needed to survive in the tundra and cold weather and that type of thing. So, yeah. But say, Andrea, with your fake AK on the front there, what are you trying to say? I got a real one. No, AR-7s, I guess they serve their purpose, but yeah. Um, I really don't even need a gun. I've got a wrist rocket. If I got to get any small game or anything, that type of thing. So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I don't need a gun to be bad to the bone. That's my personality. It is. What can I say? SJD, you still watching me? High five, brother. Or low one. I'd wrestle you. I'd box you. I'd kung fu you. I'd judo you. I'd taekwondo you. Wanna play? Let's play. I don't play. I can't help it, okay? Just can't. That's just me. It really is. And I am serious. I'd wrestle you without a mat, just on the ground. Because if I flip somebody with my judo or take you down, it's gonna hurt. It's gotta, doesn't it? Isn't that the point? Don't you want to hurt people? I really don't, but for sport, perhaps. You know? Hey, you saw Reggie, my cousin. Well, he's my second cousin, the Crusher. Yeah, when I went to see him in a studio, they were filming him on TV for, it wasn't called Worldwide Wrestling back then. I think it was just a WWFC or Federation or something. Yeah, Federation of Clowns. But no, they were like really bad serious back in them days. Little more so than now, I think. Um, he chewed my dad out royally for bringing a kid to the wrestling matches. And even I went again. Oh, I must have been about 9 that time. And I went again when I was about 12. And there was some woman. I mean, she was an old woman. And she was in back of me. And she's like, kill that effer. Whoa, whoa. This little old lady. I looked back like, holy shit. God dang. You know. Anyway, she knew who I was. Yeah, I've been stalked like that shit all my life too. So, yeah. You know. Yes, that is the meaning of it. They can see you. They take one look at you and it's written on our heads, you know. So that's the way that goes. Yeah, that was some weird times in my childhood. Well, life's pretty weird as it is. Really is. Yeah, Robin, you made the best point, and I couldn't stress this enough for people. Satan always tried to say, oh yeah, you can't go to God. You're drinking a beer or smoking a joint, or you do this or you do that. That's the time when you need him most. Can't listen to that crap, you know, at all. Don't ever let that stop you to talk to God, ever. Just say, hey, Jesus, could you help me out here? You know, I have been so inebriated that I was begging for help. So, um, I'm not much of a drinker or anything like that, but I don't like feeling like that. And I did need help, and I got help, you know. So, yeah, I know they wanted to see a whole different me in this round, but it didn't work out for them. That's what I always ask God too. Don't ever let me go. Just don't let me fall. make it impossible for me to be low. Guide me every step. If I start swaying or get stubborn, make sure you don't make me too stubborn where I'm not listening. And I think that's a really good prayer that anybody can ask God. Always help me. Don't let me go astray. What do you think? You're not going to have fun in your life, or you won't be able to have romance or anything um pleasant, no pleasantries in your existence if you love God? Are you out of your mind? Why do you think you're here? You're here because of the love of God. You're here because of the first people making love. And it most likely was pleasurable for them to make a family. So, um, love and relationships and all that, nothing stops. You're just going to do it right, you know? Learn how to do things the right way. That's how we come to God. We come to God needing His help to find out the right way to do stuff. And if you don't ask, and if you don't see Him as a parent, Christ is here on His behalf, taking on the Father as our parent. So to ask Him for help isn't a big deal. It really isn't. It's no more than me saying, "Hey, Karen, what was the name of that song you sent to me?" But as simple as that, you know. Um, or would you do this, or could you do this? That's as easy as it is. Whoop-de-doo, right? I mean, like, people got a problem with that? That's weird. To me, that's weird, you know? It's like a kid yelling out of the bedroom, "Hey, Mom, I can't find my socks. Could you help me?" Sure, go help them, you know? Or like, "I'm already ahead of you. They're in your top drawer." you know? That's more God style. Yeah, has always been a big thing to me, knowing that Satan wants to say, "You're low. You can't go talk to the Father. Look how dirty you are." It's like, "Oh, no, no, you're not pulling that on me. That doesn't work here, you know, at all." you know, yeah. There is a point of no return for people. Like I say, if you want to sleep with the maggots next to your Father, you'll be woke up and your soul will be clean when God wants to wake you up and clean you up, and not until. And the more horrid you are, the more you're going to be kept away until other people can deal with that crap and teach you how to be a decent human being. One way or another, you will be a decent human being. That's the way it works. That's what it's all about. What's it all about, Elfie? God dang, I hate that show. What a slut. you know. Another one, Mrs. Robinson. That's very rude about a teacher um, having sex with a student. Pretty rude. There was a lot of persuasive and rude shows when I was growing up that I didn't really have the concept of. A lot of music too that I understand a lot more, of course, now that I'm older than I did. You know, um, I was singing Puff the Magic Dragon to third and fourth graders when I was a student teacher. I'd bring my guitar in on Fridays, and it's about smoking pot. Little Jackie Paper, loved that rascal Puff, and brought him strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Oh, no, that's terrible. Even the symbolicness of the Sealing wax and string. It's all. It's a horrible song. Boy, analyze that one. That's rough. Yeah, a lot of secrets hidden in all kinds of music. You know. So sometimes I have a lot to say, but if a song can say a lot, I'll put it through. You know. Well, I'll probably let this one go at that. I hope I'm making my adversaries sick to their stomachs. I hope that you're literally dying inside out of loneliness because you're not doing things right. I would be, you know. I offered you friendship, loyalty, and truth. Want some? You know, I can't really say any more, but I'm surely not going to shut up. So, anyway, I love y'all. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Um, keep strong. I know you got the armor of God, and they say, well, like pride is a sin. Not if you have it for other people. I'm very proud of you. You help um, beyond words, beyond words. Even the people that are coming against me, you're helping me too. Every little piece is a part of Satan. Not that I forgot, but the refreshing of my memory is just fine. You know, I mean, trust me, if I'm not afraid of the big dog, I'm not afraid of the little ones. So you can gang up all you want. I don't care. I'm the kind of person, and this is no bullshit. You could put me in the middle of 100 people and they could start attacking me, and I'll guarantee you about a dozen or more will get hurt before they can get their hands on me. That's just the way I am. My whole soul screams inside like that. A warrior for God, and definitely not touching me. You know, can't touch this. That you would find out. But a lot of y'all got to sit behind there and act like you're something you're not. I know who's who. Sure do. Well, I had a good day. I hope you had a good day too. I love you. Talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me. Love you, my friends. Good night. Good day.